We are in a unique moment where the unknown and the possibilities of what could happen seem only to grow by the day. Those new to the preparedness community are rightfully concerned and may feel like they're late to the party as they face a future that only seems to grow darker by the day. Time does not appear to be on our side as we're inundated with a barrage of bad news on a moment-by-moment basis, living in this age of social media and the 24-hour news cycle. We're told that if this happens, then what comes next could be catastrophic. Upon waking, there seems to be a sense of urgency to run to our phones to find out if the other shoe has indeed dropped. Has this thing we feared now been realized? As veteran preppers, we have prepared for years and take no joy in feeling vindicated by these recent events. For some that have been cautious to commit to the prepper lifestyle, the events that are playing out has pushed some to take action and others to retreat deeper into normalcy bias. No matter where you are on the spectrum of preparedness, you really need to hear this. Hey YouTube, this is City Prepping. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness, aka prepping. Once a week, I try to do one of these talking head videos addressing the current state of affairs in our community. Now, if you watch my channel, you'll notice a familiar pattern on my channel. You'll see a how-to video once a week, maybe a product review, a video that provides insight into a situation you need to be aware of, and then typically I try to wrap up the week with a more personal video like this one that I'm doing now. I do these kind of talking head types of videos for a number of reasons. First of all, I like to connect with my audience in a more transparent, unscripted way. No flashy animations, no images, no video stock overlays. I just want to use these videos to bring encouragement and hopefully motivation to the community, something I feel is very important during these uncertain times. And let me lead off by saying this. At this moment, it's very important to guard your mind. There's plenty of bad news that is seemingly coming out to us by the hour. My encouragement, the same as I've been trying to communicate for the last several weeks, is to not get caught up in fear. But rather, my encouragement to you is to continue the slow and steady path of preparedness. It would be easy to bombard you with warnings that you need to go out and buy X, Y, and Z. But in these moments, now is not the time to get caught up with the masses and the hordes that are going out that are buying things out of fear. As preppers, we stock up when others are complacent, and we should be fine when the chaos hits. Additionally, I would really warn you against making life-altering decisions at this time. I personally found that in times of great stress, especially when fear is at the highest, I try to avoid making major life decisions. I've gotten a few emails from individuals asking whether they should do something regarding, a major decision that they're on the process of making, and a lot of it's based off fear. With everything that's happening, their concern is, well, if I don't do this or I do this right now, it could be catastrophic. And again, making decisions based on fear is not the ideal approach. Personally, unless I see something that's obviously right in front of me, I try to be patient, I try to wait. Right now, we are clearly in a time of uncertainty, and that's the challenge, is that nobody knows which way this is going to go, and anybody that would tell you otherwise is trying to sell you on something. As such, for those of us that are a little older, now, I'm in my mid-40s, and I hate to use the term phrase, the phrase I'm older, because I don't really feel like it, but I do realize I've got a few years under my belt. And I've been around for long enough to see my fair share of events that it seemed like the end of the world. I've shared this before on the channel. Growing up in the 80s, we always faced the possibility of a nuclear exchange with Russia. That was, during the Cold War, the tail end of it, there was always that, hanging over our heads. Then, several other events played out in the 90s, and came 9/11, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan shortly thereafter, the market collapse in 2008. We've gone through COVID recently, and here we are today, staring down the barrel of another potential Cold War, World War III with Russia, however you want to call it. My point that I'm trying to make is this. Moments like these will inevitably come in our lifetime, and they have for me, and I've seen my fair share of these. And I personally, this is my own take, I believe the next several years will likely see an increase in frequency in these types of events. Whether it's a fight over limited resources, energy, there's a lot of things coming on the horizon that different nations will be fighting over. And the world is going through, how should I say it, a very transitional time. But the key in all of this, and I will repeat this ad nauseum on this channel, is to stay calm. Please do not panic during these times, but prepare. Additionally, I would encourage you not to fall into the trap of if this happens mindset. What do I mean? There's a lot of things that could happen right now, and it's easy to get caught up in this potential way, or this way of thinking that anything could potentially happen, that so many things could happen. And we start playing in our mind this game of, well, if this happens, well, this is going to happen. If this happens, this will play out. And I'll be honest, I can let my mind go and I can think about, well, if this happens and this, I start playing this game. And I find myself having to really retract and pull back at times. And it's a conscious decision that I have to make to catch my mind so I don't go down this path. And the point I'm trying to make is, sure, there is any number of possibilities that could play out. And that is why I'm very cautious on this channel to promote these potential various scenarios as if they're fact or as if they're happening. I could play the if game all day long, but at this moment, my primary goal is to present you hopefully with enough information to help you stay ahead of the various threats and to give you actionable information to stay prepared, but not get caught up in the fear of what could play out. Now, having said that, I'll continue to roll out videos on a weekly basis addressing what I see as probable threats that we face. And I've done that time and time on the channel, and that's not going to change. And I hope these videos don't alarm you that by saying, okay, this is a possibility and this is how you prepare, that as if, or rather that I'm somehow implying that this is what's going to happen. All I know is that, again, we are in a time where the possibilities seem to be stacking of what can happen. And the nature of this channel is preparedness. Hence, I will talk about these subjects. And again, I say this time and time again, I know some would call this fear-mongering, but as a prepper, I try to look at all of the possibilities and prepare accordingly. Having said that, I'll tell you a couple of secrets. I don't know any more than you about what's coming next. Sure, I've done some videos that have played out to be true. We've talked about, for example, several months ago, different issues with Russia and China hoarding up wheat. We talked about that months ago. Now we see why. We talked about fertilizer issues on the horizon. We talked about that, last fall, and here, of course, these things are playing out. I don't have a crystal ball. A lot of this writing was on the wall. This was information that was already publicly available. As a team, we got ahead of it. We tried to present it so that you would be prepared. Sure, I see concerning signs on the horizon, but I can't tell you with any degree of certainty how things will play out. And the more I study, the more I see the need to prepare. And we've done quite a number of videos on this channel warning you about different things that it will play out. I talked about this a second ago, and I don't feel any sense of joy of being validated and watching these things now transpire, these things beginning to happen. All I can say is, with everything I'm seeing, and again, back to this main point, I have no crystal ball. I'm not getting any secretive information from anybody that where I'm ahead of the curve. The point is, we all should be preparing, regardless of what information is out there. The facts are, things are in a very volatile moment. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Now, the other thing is, most of preparedness, it really comes down to a handful of primary things. It comes down to food, water, shelter, medical, security. I would say these are your 5 primary pillars. There's others, but if you can master and at least get a handle on those, you are in a much better position. There are a lot of other ways that I prepare that I believe will make life more bearable if something were to transpire, if there was a collapse that were to occur. But if you have these covered, you'll at least be in a good position. If you're new to preparedness and you're coming to this, I know a lot of subscribers have joined the channel recently, and I always try to encourage people, if you're starting out, focus on getting food and water stored away. I've done plenty of videos. I'll post some links to playlists up in the cards above. Is it on this side? Yeah, I believe it is. And in the description section below. And I would encourage you, if you're starting out, definitely go check out those videos. They're very easy to follow along with, and they're purposefully done that way. And lastly, here's another secret that I'll share with you. I am just a YouTuber. Trust me when I say I have no secret insight. I shared this a second ago. I'm humbled that I've been given a platform to speak and that people actually listen. And I don't take that responsibility lightly. I try to be very careful what I say. I realize that on the other side of the screen that I'm talking to, there's someone that is listening and may take what I say seriously. My mother emailed me recently that a few members of her congregation where my parents attend, they watch my channel. And they're part of a small church in East Texas that I grew up in. And when I sit down to put these videos together, I often think of those people. I imagine if I was in, their setting and I was talking to them, how would I communicate to them? Do I want to spew out fear and ramp them up? And that's why I'm always cautious, honestly, about what I say and how I say it. It's probably one of the main reasons I don't curse my videos. I get in a lot of trouble. I'm sure I get a phone call from my parents letting me know that I messed up. But in all seriousness, I take this role I've been given very seriously. I would be uncomfortable, again, sitting in an environment with these individuals, with family members, with these different subscribers, and ramping them up on fear. And I really am trying to approach this channel in the same way. That how would I communicate to friends and family? And this is a challenge, I'll just be honest, I've even had as of late. As you study this information and you look, it's easy because this is what I consume on a daily basis as I'm looking at the different events that are playing out. And I even try to be careful when I connect, for example, with my friends to rein in my thoughts and not to make that the forefront of every conversation I have. The point I'm trying to make is this, is it can be a bit overwhelming at times, I'll admit. And as a YouTuber, I call myself a YouTuber because that's the main platform I've been given. But while I try to cover important subjects on this channel and I try to provide as much information to help you prepare, my goal is always to balance what I say with real practical information and give you information that's actionable. For example, at the time of recording this video, we released a video on how to make a 300-hour candle. Is it probably going to be a video that gets a lot of clicks? We'll see. Right now, people are more concerned, obviously, with the events that are playing out in Ukraine. But my goal is to continue to create content that explores the potential threats that we face and also to balance it with actionable information to help you learn skill sets. Additionally, I've been getting approached by several different companies asking me to promote products that are selling really quick right now for their companies in the preparedness community, namely. And I'll be honest, I am not interested at this time in promoting products while there's a heightened sense of fear. And I know there's a lot of money to be made right now, and I enjoy doing product reviews, but I want to make sure that people are buying products for the right reasons, that you're not motivated by fear. Fear, it's a powerful motivator, and I realize that all too well, which is why I've chosen to be careful with the content that I'm releasing on this channel. This coming week, I will be doing a summary video of the different solar generator options on the market, and that's a video I've been wanting to do for several months now. And the timing, I'm trying to be very careful, and it's a video I think is very informative, not fear-based. But all that to say, I just want to make sure that as someone that has been given a platform, I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm trying to, how should I say it, be aware of the state of people's minds right now within the community. And my encouragement to you is, I guess what I'm trying to say is, do not be motivated by fear at this time. I know that's a long way of saying it, and I apologize. It took a winding path to get there, but stay calm. Stay calm. I'll keep repeating that throughout this video. And look, here's my personal take on the current state of affairs. I believe things will likely get worse before if they do, get better. And I know that almost contradicts everything that I've been stating earlier in this video, but it is a conclusion that I've come to which only drives me and motivates me to prepare more. Having said that, I realize things could just as easily get better soon. There is a possibility. I have to acknowledge that the situation in Ukraine could resolve in a peaceful manner. I believe that option's on the table. Maybe it's something that may not happen tomorrow or anytime soon, but I could see this going either way is the point I'm trying to make. Regardless, I don't think having a realistic view of the future requires one to contradict a sense of optimism about the future. Personally, I'm optimistic that my family will get through these challenging times, and it's not even something that I doubt. I know there's a strong potential for difficult times ahead, but we will make it. The supply chain will likely continue to have issues. I've gotten emails from different vendors I work with that are having supply chain issues at some of their factories that are now in lockdown because of this new variant of COVID that's flaring up. And this will, without a doubt, have an impact on all of us. And this situation with Russia and Ukraine will likely continue to impact us all. Especially, we released a newsletter today talking about the impact with wheat. It's one of the main commodities that comes out of this part of the world. And with everything happening there, we're going to see that, of course, impact all of us and our food supply chain. And look, I have no control over how this will all play out, which is why I'm cautious to ingest a steady flow of bad news. At this point, it just does not really impact or change my plans to prepare. And the goal with this channel, it remains the same. It's to provide you with actionable information that allows you to weather the coming storm no matter what it may be. And I have no plans to deviate from this mission. And let me leave you with this final encouragement. It's more important than ever to not get locked up in fear. There are plenty of warning signs of how should I say it, the problems on the horizon that we're going to face. And please take this time to build a buffer. That's, to me, the point of preparedness, is to build a buffer to see what's coming and to get your affairs in order so that when that event comes, you'll be ready. I'll post a link to a video on building a 1-year food supply storage. I'll post that link up in the cards above. And it's a great video to lay the foundation. You may say 1 year, that's a lot. If you're uncomfortable, you can go into my videos and search for building a 2-week food supply. That's an easy starting point, and then you can work up to 1 year. And if you start there, you'll be light years ahead of everyone else if something were to happen. In that video on the 1-year food storage, I lay out a very clear step-by-step approach to help you get your food stores ready. It's a great starting point. We're gonna make it through this time. There's definitely plenty of challenges we're likely going to face, but we will make it. If you hear anything from this video, please let that be the takeaway. We will get through this. As always, stay safe out there.